everybody, it's Alyce-Kay Ruckelshaus of Threshold of Hineni, and I'm going to decorate the envelope that's going towards the back of the book. You may be watching as a continuation from the previous video, or this may be a separate day. I'm not sure if I'm going to post these both on the same day or not. Probably. Why not, right? So I've decided to use the verse, "Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you be secure," because I think that that's a very fitting verse for ending this study of Abraham. And so I'm just distressing that. I also think that on the back of these is maybe where I'll put these little trifold folders. What do you think? That might be a good idea. Okay, so I'm going to let the other one dry first before I do that. So I have this. I'm sorry. Wow. Half a yawn and half a sneeze. So I have this, and I'm not quite sure what I want to have behind it yet. I kind of like this because this has some blue in it that would go with this background. So let's do that, see how it looks. And I'll probably put an envelope on this one too, because it's just this obsessive compulsive thing that I have to be like mirror images front and back and stuff. You do not have to do it the same way I do. Have you heard me say that a few times? Are you getting tired of hearing it? I just want to reassure you that you can do it however you want. Okay, I'm going to round these corners since I rounded that one. I'm not trying to get them all perfect. They're not even the same at all. Okay. All right. So I like that blue, and I kind of like having it up where "Pray for the Peace of Jerusalem" is going to be. So that's nice, like that. And then which envelope do I have left? This one here. I don't really like that as much, but it's okay. Okay, so we're going to do that. Or should I do another of these? No, that's just too much. Yeah, I like this. Okay, and I'm not sure that I really need, I don't think I need another picture because this is big and it takes up a lot of space, and it also is pretty busy. Okay, so I don't think I need another picture, but maybe some burlap or some cheesecloth there. I think burlap. Okay, so I'm going to cut just a square of burlap and figure out what I'm doing. And you know, if I don't cut this right and it's like too small or too big or something, I can always use it for something else. I don't worry about it too much. How does that look, you guys? Is that cool? I like that. Okay. So let's glue this down first. And again, if I wanted to, I could make this into a side pocket, this thing here. Maybe I should. Wouldn't that be cool? Do I want to do that? Yeah, I'm going to make that a side pocket. So I'm not going to glue this side. Okay, but I'm going to glue down the curve just to hold it on really well, because I found that pockets that I put on envelopes for some reason sometimes don't hold as well. I'm not really sure why. Okay, so I don't want that to be goobery, so I'm going to kind of spread it with the nozzle. Maybe add a little bit more there. Okay, I'm going to turn this over, and I think it was pretty much even, but over to this side, right? I think so. I'm going to get one of my little handy dandy wipes, cosmetic wipes. And I'm pushing it out towards the edge because I want the glue to go all the way to the edge. Okay, and of course it's not over here, so I didn't really need to push over there, but I'd forgotten it momentarily. Okay, so now we have an opening there. I'll show you. We have a pocket right there. Okay, this whole big thing. So we can stick something fairly large in there, or we can stick a couple things. Okay, so this is an envelope, just in case you didn't see the last video where I showed this. I cut off the top or sliced it open, and I sealed the envelope back here. Okay, so we're just decorating the front of it, and I really would recommend watching the other video so that you know what we are doing. Okay, so I want this to be centered, but I do want this to be under it somewhat, and maybe not square. Okay, I like that. And this not centered. Okay, so what we want to put down next is the burlap. Burlap is a little tricky to put down because the glue is kind of a mess. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put glue in a few spots where I know that the burlap's going to be, because I just don't want it to be like this gigantic, huge mess. And then I'm using my little wipe thing here. Okay. Now this is going to be the side of the journal over here. This is going to be close to the binding, so I don't want this to go, the burlap to go past the binding on this, past the envelope on this side. Okay. And then I want this centered, so I think that's good right there. And I'm not going to make this into another pocket. We're just going to put this solidly down since we have a side pocket already with that paper that has the red stuff on it. Okay. Sorry if I keep moving out of camera, you guys. I'm trying to learn. So I'm going to put some on the very back since I'm putting it all down. Okay, and this is going to be centered here. And this envelope is like pretty much the same size as a page. It might even be a little bit bigger, but that's okay. We've allowed plenty of extra space in our cover so that things can be bigger if we want. And we also don't mind things sticking out the sides or top or bottom a little bit. It makes it interesting. Okay. And this glue that you see under the burlap is going to dry clear, so that's cool. Okay, and I think I'm going to bring this down actually a little bit here, like that. What do you think, you guys? Like that? I like that. I'm going to glue around close to the edges, not right up to the edges because I could push the glue out with my wipe when I put it down. And I'm leaving it kind of thick over on this side because I want it to go through the burlap if possible. Where did I have it here? I think that was where I had it. I hope. Yeah, I think that looks good. Okay. There we go. Squish it out. See how some of the glue is coming out, but I'm wiping it immediately with this as I squish it out. Okay, and I think that is going through the burlap. Okay, I like that. Do you guys like that? I think that's pretty. Okay, now I think I want to put something on the back of this envelope that we did earlier. I'm going to put one of these cards. And if you remember right, there was nothing opposite this, on the page opposite it, so we don't have to really worry about, you know, what color it is or anything. I think I want to stick with the orangish theme that was on the other side, but let me just look and make sure. I like that too. I also like this lace. I know I've said I won't use lace, but that's not really lace. It's just a picture of lace, right? That might be kind of nice. What do you think? This really, I like that better. That's just seems to be more appropriate. So I'm going to do that. And I think that I will take some cheesecloth to stick out from it at various places. This is where I would really like to sew, but I'm not going to sew. I'm just going to use glue on this. Okay, so seems like we need more though, doesn't it, than just this? I don't know, what do you think? I don't really feel like that's enough. I mean, of course, we can write all over this if we want to. Do I have a verse that would fit there? My verses, the remaining verses are pretty big, so I think I'll use those elsewhere. So I think we're done with those for now. How about a picture? Maybe the ram or the olive tree. I like the olive tree, and I kind of want to save the ram for Isaac. So, of course, we can use the same thing twice in the book. I mean, and in case you haven't noticed, these design papers, I've used them over and over throughout the book. To me, when I repeat a design like that, it kind of makes the book feel cohesive to me. So I like to do that. But pictures, twice at the most. I don't really like to reuse those. Okay, I'm not going to throw that away because I can use some of this part of the scraps here. Okay. All right, so I'm going to do the olive tree. Let me just kind of make it curvy cut, sort of. I usually kind of clean up after myself as I'm cutting, but my trash is in another part of the room and I forgot to bring it over, so it's just kind of here. Okay, so what if we did that? Okay, and maybe have some more cheesecloth too. I could sew the cheesecloth to the picture and to the pocket booklet thingy, but I'm not going to. Okay, I'm going to overlap that a little bit, and then we need some cheesecloth over here, maybe like in that corner. And if you kind of pull at the cheesecloth, it makes it much more interesting. Gives it some more texture and stuff. Okay, how's that? I like that. And this is on the back of the page anyway, so it's not going to be, I mean, it is going to definitely show. It's just not going to be as big of a deal. Okay, so I'm going to leave the cheesecloth, try to leave it exactly where I had it. I'm going to glue around this edge, and this glue will definitely go through the cheesecloth. No doubt about it. So it will hold the cheesecloth in place. And this will still stick to the page. Okay. So, oops. Okay, so I think that's how we had it, right? Speak now or forever hold your peace, guys, girls, whoever you are. I think I've explained before, I'm originally from California, and we call everybody guys or you guys or something like that. And now I live in Tennessee, and in East Tennessee, and I'm just still learning how to say y'all, which I think makes so much more sense and sounds so much nicer than you guys. So eventually I'll be there, and I'll say that. But for now, it's you guys. Okay, so then this is going to go here, and we're going to put this cheesecloth, I'm going to let it kind of twist the way it is, and I'm going to put that right there. Okay, so, and I could leave, you know, either the top or the side open for another pocket, but I'm really starting to feel like we have plenty. So I'm going to, and we can always add more even after the book is bound. It's just a lot easier to add them before you bind it, in my opinion. There are some people who prefer to bind their book as soon as they've chosen their papers. I just got glue on my hand, sorry. And but for me, I think probably because I like to sew so much in it, I just really prefer to bind it after I have most of my stuff in on the pages. And then, you know, I'll after it's bound, I will add, you know, then I'll make the cards and add all those and stuff. I don't add those before binding it. And probably, you guys, the next video, how far are we on this one? 11 minutes. Either the next video or the one after that, after we finish the envelopes anyway. I think there probably will be another video on the envelopes because we've got to put them in the book. The next video or the one after that will be binding our book. Okay, so we've got both of these. oh no, I still need to do a back for this one. Okay, so we're going to do a back for this one. And I think I'm going to use the grapes. Sorry, I've got such a mess here, you guys. Wow. I am pretty messy though. That's why I have a whole back room to myself, and Bill's office is in our living room because I'm too messy for him. And also because there is a separate little air conditioner back here, and he tends to be very cold-blooded and I tend to be very, very warm-blooded, and so it's hard for us to be in the same place together. It's kind of funny because we love each other so much, but we can't be together all the time. Okay, I like that. Is that pretty cool? Okay, and I think that looks good with that. I mean, it's not like you're going to see them both at the same time, but I was trying to kind of... Okay, so... Anyway, I mentioned I was talking about Bill and me, and how we met online, and it really, really was a God thing because we did not fit each other's description of, you know, what we were looking for. You know, he was looking for somebody within 50 miles. I was looking for somebody within 100 miles. I was living in Minnesota at the time, so I was, I think, like 1,300 miles away or something. So it was just a little out of range. And he had said he was open to somebody, I think, 5 years younger than him. And I was open to somebody about maybe up to 10 years older than me, but preferably closer to my age, maybe like 6 years older than me. And he's 20 years older than me. So anyway, what happened was that they sent me his profile, and I was 53 at the time and he was 73, and I was like, well, that's way too old for me, but you know, I feel sorry for him because he's so old, and probably, you know, there aren't women his age who are looking online for dates, which was completely wrong. He had so many women being sent to him because there's a lot of women that are that age and not very many men who are looking for somebody. And so, I mean, and you would not believe, you guys, some of these women. Anyway, so I didn't think that, you know, that there would be very many women, so I felt sorry for him. So I sent him a wink, you know, which you can do on these online things. I sent him a wink just to, you know, kind of flirt with him, but not be serious or anything. And I think it was later that day that, I didn't really mean for this to be centered, oh well, that he contacted me. And I was online at the time, and so, you know, I wrote back and we just chatted. You know, it wasn't like, you know, like there was any possibility of us dating or anything, but we were just chatting, and there's too much to explain. But suffice to say, we talked for the first time a couple weeks later, and within a couple days, we knew that we belonged together. I mean, it was like a for sure thing. And before then, anytime that I had asked somebody, how do you know if they're the right one? How did you know that your husband was the right one? And people would say, oh, you just know. And I'd always just want to slap them. Because it's like, that's not really an answer. But it's true. You just know. You know, it's like I knew without a shadow of a doubt. He knew a little bit before I did. I think I knew, but I just wasn't willing to admit it to myself. Okay, so here's what we have. We have this envelope, which is going to be at the front, and it has this thing that comes up, and it has a pocket right here, which I'm not sure if we'll use because of that burlap. And then when you flip it over, you've got this thing that has all these pockets in it, and the envelope itself, of course, is a gigantic pocket. Okay, and then we have this one that's going to be close to the end. It's got an envelope. This thing here is a pocket. And then you flip it over and you've got, I didn't show you on the other one, but you've got these pockets right here, big pocket here, and a pretty big pocket here that goes all the way down to the bottom. So that just added to our writing space because we can put several big cards or sheets of paper inside of these. Okay, and so in the next video, I'm going to show you how to put these into your signature. Okay, and I might go ahead, I have 2 other envelopes that I'm thinking of using. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them or not. If I do, I'm going to go ahead and decorate those off camera unless I decide to do something just really completely extraordinarily different from this. But I think it'll probably be something similar if I use those. All right, I love you all. I will see you later. Bye-bye.